the LCK, but they are going to go for it here on R5 to go into the mid lane. Try to, once again, just look for more engage. There's obviously the answer to TF where you can take the ultimate away and go down yourself. And not only TF, there are a lot of good ultimates on the side of Gen.G, so I don't mind the pick in this scenario.
So right here, I mean, the Twisted Fate is achieving a similar thing to Zoe and Jace that we mentioned, and that it obviously transitions into poke. They don't really have a 1-3-1, but they do have a split push option if dynamics are ever lacking teleport. Twisted Fate can obviously go into the side lanes and threaten things. So with the dual teleport on Karma, and I believe Varus as well, there's even backdoor potency. And the other thing is that this team composition for dynamics is a lot weaker than the draft in game number 1, because while Sylas can follow Destiny Gate, every other setup is just a lot worse at this point. So we'll see what ends up happening there for them. Obviously, Varus is in the game. That's going to be exciting. This was a pretty interesting spot, though, because once again, the Leona and Lee Sin combo does reward Aphelios. And if he doesn't get super far ahead on Lee this game, he will have a little bit more trouble. But with Twisted Fate, we'll see what he can manage to do to just control around center and deny Olaf any dragon captures.
Cleanse is going to be of the utmost importance here for deokdam. There is a lot of lockdown that you are going to have to get out of. He is going to select it, just like he did in game 1. And we're going to be running it back, at least for that one roll. Rich also playing the Kennen once again. Again, he did look pretty good on the champion. I feel like he was playing well, given the circumstances that did come to team dynamics in game number 1. So I don't mind it here, as they're just laughing at each other. Just spread out, waiting to start this one.
Well, Dawn's Ring is the start for Karma up in top lane. Spellbook on her again. Rich with Spellbook too. And Dynamics' team composition is, again, it's a little bit more vulnerable than the previous one, because Sylas, he does have the Leona ultimate that he can steal, as well as Varus, but outside of that, not a whole bunch going on. Ruler sinning a little bit down there with the Scorch on Varus has been taken. deokdam with Press the Attack. Scaling runes available to him. We'll see what the junglers are both going to start here. As Sylas is going to take the fleet footwork to deal with the poke and harass that TF can throw out.
BZ getting pretty close there, but Kuzan not really able to punish him just yet, this early on in the game. With no gap close, taking the Q first. We saw that GuGer in the very early stages of game 1.
Oh, they gotta be... Okay, so that's the bone plating off. So even though Leona has lost her Aftershock, well, it doesn't actually look like they want to do any sort of a trade, which I find very surprising. Even though she lost her Aftershock, still be able to win the trade. Now, they can go for a cheater here. Varus can just shove in this wave, insta-cheater recall. Aphelios is missing. He's going to be missing 40% of his HP. And everything would be fine. But
Ruler's backing off and he's scanning for wards.
Yeah, they're
priorities.
playing it very slow. Now, you can also do it on wave 4. And what wave 4 does is you can end up getting boots and longsword, as if you do it totally right. But Ruler's missed a lot of, well, he's missed 2 CS so far. So we'll see. I don't know why I was about to say a lot. That doesn't make sense. So
yeah.
we'll see if he cheaters. Doesn't look like he wants to.
Yeah,
so,
you don't see that very often.
The thing is as a spectator, you have to play out all different sequences. Imagine like 3 different choose your own adventures. This is one where they're going to crash the wave onto the turret, poke a little bit, They're going to have Lee Sin try to come around with the waves here. So there's not really a dive possible unless Dynamics messes up. So that's one adventure. The alternative adventure is you hard shove that wave, recall, the opponents can't shove it out very quickly. We got a gank going on though.
Yeah. Well, nice gank.
And so
okay,
the bot lane, you shove it in really fast, you recall. And then the opponents have to respect that you could be hiding in the fog of war. They can't shove it back instantly. Aphelios is missing HP, he's missing mana. Things don't feel very good. And all of a sudden the waves go into the opponents and then they threaten to freeze on you and you don't have TP. So the onus is now on you to break it. You're down HP, you're down mana, you're down resources. They have better combat stats because they bought items, and you're locked into a lane. And it just feels miserable, and you can't ask your jungler to just come down and help you because it isn't inside of their path to do so. So that's another sequence. And then I suppose that obviously there's variations of the two that, you know, you could identify as sequence 3, 4, or 5, but obviously just playing blow for blow right now down in bot lane, this is at least what Aphelios is most happy with. Even though he's still losing very slightly, he's content.
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes dangerous to be content. Always try to, you know, have that personal growth. We'll see if he can try to get out of this kind of chokehold that they're doing down on the bottom side, but because of that, they are making themselves vulnerable to a gank, and here comes Olaf. It's going to be on top of Life, who is going to get slowed, but again, it's just one undertow, and it is Leona. And that gank, you know, it's not always meant to just, you know, kill Ruler Life and get summoners. It's meant to help as well, to try to get them to push away and potentially get a better lane state before they do go back, especially with the teleport disadvantage with the AD carries. In goes Beyond. He's up a level, and he's actually going to take away a bunch of these. He will also try to smite this. Looks like Clid is going to take it away, though. See you later. That's my chicken.
Well, things are just going pretty standard so far. Olaf is up a couple of camps, however. Looks like he's actually just going to start up the Mountain Drake, and we mentioned that this is something that Olaf wants to do.
Yeah, he's going to get in there. You see that Clid is not really... I mean, they should have a good idea that he can easily go over there based on, you know, seeing the amount of farm that he has. Clid is going to try to challenge here, actually. Getting in front, but it's all 2 level 4s against 2 level 5s, and Kuzan's going to get the first roam. Clid not even going to risk it. Just going to give that Mountain Drake over the side of Team Dynamics. And that is partially because Olaf was able to grind up those camps a little bit faster, get that level lead. As now they're engaging, but Beyond is still here. The root going to come down onto Life in a little bit of trouble, but he's Leona, so he's going to be fine.
And Ruler is feeling pretty okay. Remember, he still has teleport. He's very far ahead in the CS department right now. BF Sword completed for Aphelios. And now deokdam's going to have a pretty good opportunity to try to come back inside of this lane, even though he's going to be down on items. Teleport actually used, so it's going to be Dirk plus double longsword and Corrupting Pot. And again, this all comes back to those first 4 waves. You could have made Aphelios recall and get items that weren't the longsword, thus stunting his build, whereas Varus's longswords are much better for his itemization path. If you can prevent the BF sword by inducing a premature recall via lane state manipulation, it's better for you. It's an attack on economy. But now Aphelios, he's going to have an opening at level 6 to try to turn things around. Whether he does it or not is irrelevant, but there was definitely a way to avoid this. And with nothing else really going on, because all the laners are just playing super safe, Lee Sin is farming slower than Olaf, because
they're actually going to root him down. Level 6, but the TP will come in. And now Life, with Flash available, is just going to try to run until it's absolutely necessary, and he's not even going to use it. Down it goes, first blood over to the side of Team Dynamics. And You see that Rascal with no TP. He's just going to get some plates up on the top side.
And all like that, the advantage in bottom just dissipates. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Ruler is really far ahead, but in terms of combat presence, not so much. It was a good teleport by Rich to come down, and now all that pressure is alleviated. Beyond getting a lot of solo gold, Destiny Gate, Destiny Gate!
Destiny Gate and Destiny Gate coming in there. Yeah, it's like the, you know, it's a little bit off-brand. Not exactly the original.
I wish I could do accents. I would just add an accent to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did on the E. Gate. That's what it was. But yeah, I'm not necessarily an accent guy. You gotta ask Atlas for those. He's pretty good.
We gotta ask Key and Peele how to do it.
Okay, yeah, just call him up.
Yeah, let's just take a look at this. So it's a handshake trade. Ruler just basically gets hit on for some unholy reason. Life Zenith Blades onto GuGer, and Aphelios has a lot of damage. So he has Caitlyn enabled right here. Kog'Maw in his back pocket. Rich just came down to help guarantee. And so now bot lane, Umbral Glaive has been complete, but there's the pickaxe as well for deokdam. And Dynamics, minute and a half until that Infernal Dragon comes up, and one would assume that they're going to get it. So far, their game plan with the draft is working out. Olaf is very far ahead of the Lee Sin in camps, and this is what is to be expected. So it's a little bit awkward as TF. If you're going to try to make things happen and you failed to maintain priority early on, you need to just start pulling waves and threatening gold card rundowns with the Lee Sin backing you up. Likewise, Karma freezing with E approaches and then tethers onto Kennen to try to set up ganks, but when you just go blow for blow like this, Dynamics, Olaf is just going to outspeed you.
Yeah.
And eventually accomplish things. And with the bot lane blunder, they lost a lot of power that they had going. I mean, they're still in control.
Yeah, but it could have been even more in control. You know, it was like 20, 25 CS difference and no kills. But now it's like, okay, bottom lane gets a kill, they get a plate, they're catching up. Of course, Ruler is still ahead. Beyond trying to set up here, still level up. Clid is going to spot him. As now he's going to go in. They're actually trying to burst him down, but here comes GuGer over the wall, looking a little bit interesting for Gen.G. They exactly want to get in there. Finally, the ultimate is going to come in, and there is that engage. GuGer in a lot of trouble, but a nice knockup coming in. Do they have the damage? In goes Clid out of left field. Kind of out of nowhere here as Kuzan is just getting out, and now they're going to try to lock down the Olaf, who has no Ragnarok. And they take him out, and that should be the Dragon, actually, going to Gen.G.
That's going to be the Drake, for sure, going over to Gen.G. And that is a very clutch timing for this to occur.
Oh, got the Lightning Rush on top of him. And the Q, quite enough damage.
Karma's very cool. She is a great champion. Yeah.
Safe in every lane.
Yep.
Doesn't matter where you are. Not the jungle, though. We haven't quite worked that one out yet.
And Rascal making his way back up here. Trying to decide if he wants to stay in the lane. He does. And Rich probably feeling a little bit upset by this. Yeah. Karma's going to get away with it. He just moves into the Fog of War to make Rich think that he's not there. Eventually comes back into the lane. And so here, we just take a look at how this all transpires. Beyond cast the Undertow a little bit late, and Clid goes over the wall. But if Beyond flashes for that, Clid reflashes, and then Beyond's a sitting duck. Really good dodge by everyone on Dynamics. Life follows up with Zenith Blade. Ultimate comes out of Ruler. They end up popping Life right away. But then right here, Kuzan takes the Blasting Cone by himself. Destiny Gate comes out by BDD. They end up just picking up the kill. And it came at a very much needed time. As if Dynamics got that dragon, things could get a little bit spicy if they would also get the Ocean, because Aphelios by then would be online with his core item. Kennen would be ready to teamfight. And Rod of Ages, it would still need a little bit more time to get to the full stack, so Twisted Fate And Sylas would be pretty close in terms of combat power, but Gen.G doing pretty good right now as it stands.
Yeah, if you took a look at the gold there, you could see that 3 Gen.G members pretty far ahead at the side of Team Dynamics, especially Ruler, who does have the 2 kills after the last fight. He's up about 30 CS after taking down that wave over deokdam, and the Varus is going to be hitting like a truck right from the beginning. It's not going to be easy for Team Dynamics to handle. They have some ability to hard engage. In goes Clid, speaking of which, and over the wall, he's not really going to be able to land that one as Rich will just flash away. The 2-on-1 coming into effect as, okay. Yeah. All right.
Things are going. Things are happening.
Right. Yeah. Okay. You use the ability.
You need to just channel the vanilla ice cream next time, and then it'll end up working.
So actually, I don't want to fight you, Andy. Let's be pacifists here in the mid lane.
Yeah.
I'll ult away as a sign of peace.
Ooh, gold card.
Ooh.
Tell Sylas to be quiet real quick, and here we go.
That was a nice read. Bit of a 2-on-2 right now. Rich and Rascal both had TP, as well as Ruler, actually.
I am curious, how far behind is Kuzan in EXP? That way, okay, Kuzan just dinged 11, so about 20%. It seems, maybe.
That was pretty easy to take the Ragnarok
Yeah.
away from Olaf, essentially. Like it was nothing.
Kennen, he built Oblivion Orb, which it will have value against Varus in isolation, but everyone else is going to have so much magic resistance, it would just be so much better to go Void Staff as second item. I mean,
That's
yes,
not what the shopkeepers told him, though.
Karma does have Athenes, but you don't need to be worrying about that amount of healing reduction, because again, Morello, it's going to slice 40% of the reduced heal, but Void Staff on 3+ targets in a team fight, you're going to deal so much more damage. And so, a little bit interesting. This is going to make Rich's build get stuck as well. He's going to invest 1,400 into the book, and the value that he's going to get out of it is going to make it so that his third item is going to be a while to get to, and that's going to be a problem for the dragon fight. So, Dynamics really setting themselves up to basically have one last hurrah in a team fight. Varus now almost at his second core item, Stone Plate, on the way here for Leona. You like that one?
Is that like a special type of sonar or something? Leonar?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well, we're waiting for this ocean to pop up. And there was a ton of vision control, actually, by Team Dynamics. 3 control wards around this area, but Gen.G don't seem to care. They're just going to drop down Shelly and say, thank you very much. Well, that's actually Shirley. As, okay, force the Ragnarok just like that. In they get another charge, and that's going to be another turret coming down here. Basically for free. Nobody on the side of Team Dynamics is really reacting to this. Nautilus was out there in the forest by himself. deokdam and Rich were just elsewhere in the lanes. And now they're just going to force an engage onto deokdam, who will be able to cleanse it. Now Life in a really awkward spot. He does have the flash. He's going to try to get back. They're going to try to burst him down. That's a nice kick onto the Kennen to immediately deny that. Ingo the wild cards, but they can't quite curve to take him down, as now Kuzan's in the front, and that Varus is getting so much damage. deokdam's still alive in the back line, though. Can he get it done? No, he can't. And that is going to be the end of that. Rich trying to do it, but that's the triple-double. Rulers full of BDDs, and that is going to be that for the fight. They take down the Ocean Drake on top of it.
Dude, Karma's so beautiful, man. So beautiful. What a great champion. Let's take a look at this one more time. And what's going to end up going on here. So, Life looking for a hard engage as well. BDD, Destiny Gates right into the middle. Life has to Stone Plate. You can see Kuzan having a little bit of difficulty getting into the team fight. Slicing Maelstrom, goes forward. Lee Sin says not today, kicks him back. GuGer forced the flash out. Wildcard's a little bit off to the right. BDD maybe just trying to immediately click back the mouse. This is a very decisive fight, so Wildcards come out. Pay attention to Karma. Watch BDD with a sliver of life. And he ends up living, and Rich just not able to pick up any more kills inside of that fight. And that was such a decisive team fight victory. It's going to propel them to almost a 5,000 gold lead. 2 Drakes away now from Seoul. Varus is a nice champion.
So is Karma. And stopwatch. Just a little shout out to my favorite item, the stopwatch. Perfect timing every time. And especially when it's BDD maneuvering that item. And the game was just totally broken open from there. It looks like the turrets are falling. The dragons are falling all to the side of Gen.G. They're just pushing here without Baron. They don't care. It's not even Baron time. They have an immense amount of poke with the Varus, the TF, etc. And BDD just going to go back here. Ruler has already done a disgusting amount of damage in this game to the champions. And yeah, they're just going to try to set this up. Rich has cleanse because he did take the unsealed spellbook. But you use your ult and you get 2 summoners, the cleanse out of Rich and the TP from Kuzan. So definitely going to be a good trade for Gen.G at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I mean, now they buy themselves a lot of time. Varus is now going to cruise towards the 3rd lethality item, and that's going to make it harder for Dynamics to find an engage on him. We would assume that it would be Edge of Night, and then after that, probably transition into Mortal Reminder or something of that nature, so that he can get the Grievous Wounds, rather than making any of his teammates try to go down that route. Be very good against the opponents. Here's the stuck part of the game that Kennen's now on. He completes the Morello. There's no team fight coming up. And the only one that's really doing anything is going to be Karma. I love the Magi's
yeah.
Soul Stealer pickup. I mean, it's just such a smart buy. The thing is, it's so easy to get to 10 stacks, and when you do, that movement speed, the ability power, the mana, everything the item gives you is just so underappreciated. If you're in solo queue, you're listening, you're at 6 stacks on Darksteel, anything, just pick up Magi's. If you're not really rushing towards an item, there's no sense of urgency. Because as long as you play right and get that passive, it's so oppressive in teamfights, and it really changes some of the things that you're allowed to do and get away with.
Yeah. And even if you're behind, sometimes it's worth the risk, too. You're like, well, we need this big boost from a 1 team fight, even from behind, to try to come back in the game, but we rarely see that either. Don't like to take the risk, says BDD is getting dove here. Not looking too good. That's a good yellow card. A gold card right on top of him, but the exhaust is going to come out, and the blue card is not going to help out too much there up against Rich. But it's the kill in trade for losing a lot of minions, and of course this turret that will go over to the side of Gen.G.
And so it's not exactly just the kill and the assist that goes over there. It is a very big takedown, and TF does have a pretty big death timer, so he's losing out on 2 minion waves, 2 full waves of Twisted Fate's passive. You have to factor that in. You have to look at the whole net gain and net loss that ends up being achieved. So yes, Gen.G does get some waves in the turret, but stunting that Twisted Fate is very good for them. Don't believe that he'll have Rapid Fire Cannon available for this team fight. And so let's just take a look at this one more time. Wildcard's clear of the wave. He's shuffling for the gold card, ends up actually getting it. And Kuzan continuing to hold the turret aggro until the very end. Picking up the kill onto BDD. There's the Edge of Night. Clid has now completed his 2nd core item. Varus just going to be wave clearing. And Destiny comes out to just get intel on everything Dynamics is doing, and Varus is just going to turn into Legolas really quick.
Yeah, he's already there. Well,
yeah, that was the cleanest.
He arrowed over the dead turret where champions can't walk. Yeah, don't recommend that one. Chains of Corruption, though, they were good.
Ooh, Wildcard just barely missing Rich. Now, they have to know that he's in here. Oh!
Oh, they're just going to go on top of him. He didn't do anything. He just sat there and died. And just like that, that's 1 kill. And now 4v5 from behind Team Dynamics, running home with their tail between their legs. And they will have to, of course, forfeit another Ocean Drake for this.
And this just feels very rough at this point in time. Looks like Dynamics might be biting off. What are they doing, man?
Yeah, I don't understand fighting here.
What?
They're just going to get chased down. Ragnarok used, Flash used.
Well,
and it's not over yet. Life, they think they can take him out, but deokdam is just going to go down here. They're not really feeling it.
Hello?
As the Flash chase is going to come in. That's another kill. And another one going the way of Gen.G. It does look like Team Dynamics at this point are feeling pretty defeated, Ellis.
I think that they're, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not even an argument that you're buying time for Kennen, because you can just let Gen.G get that Ocean and then take the final last hurrah at Ocean Soul fight. And you can see Kennen, now he's going Void Staff, I guess, as the third item. He's going to end up picking that up. I actually just wonder if Leandre's is better here, because there's so many HP stackers on the enemy team. I'm not totally sure, but doesn't matter. He has the blasting amp. He'll end up picking up one of the two items. Looks like Dynamics are trying to rush this Ocean. They don't have the damage. Sylas doesn't deal a lot of damage. And so now, okay, well, good night.
Yeah, we're going for it. He doesn't even have zone. He doesn't even have a stopwatch. I mean, there's nothing.
He's stuck.
Yeah,
is what is happening.
Stuck. He's alone. He's behind.
And oh!
Okay, yeah. Kuzan's dead too.
Yep. Now they should actually not kill him right away. They should let him run. He's low on mana.
Kuzan's gonna help them.
Just leash him. just walk him around on a leash. Extend the death timer, and then kill him. That's all that you have to do there.
Yeah. Then you're pushing 5v4 with Baron. You know?
Right. So they could have elected into that. They could have just let Clid handle him, because there would be no way for Sylas to do anything at that point.
Mm-hmm. They're pushing in now. They're really just trying to end this one, it seems. We'll see how far they get.
Yeah, it's actually, it's blanking on me. Never mind.
It's okay. Maybe you'll remember in the second series. After our 1 century-long break, as is the norm here. After 2 zeros in the first one, in goes life, and yeah, they're just going to try to end it here, guys. With the redemption, gold card is going to come out, and Olaf nearly dies to some poke. Kuzan, will he finally engage? They are going to put down one last stand. They're going to give it one last LS. And it looks like DYN is going to go down at the same time. That's a lot of damage from the Aphelios, but it doesn't seem to matter, as they will just be able to take down the Nexus. That is going to be the clean 2-0 of Gen.G.